with the victim that you saw? Where did it appear that this person had been hit, and how severe were those injuries?
You know, it was really hard to tell. It was a lot of blood, so it wasn't clear where the bullet had struck him and how severe the wound was. He looked to be unconscious, but even that's not entirely clear to me. But it was obviously a lot of blood, so I'm assuming he was pretty severely wounded, and I'm hoping and praying he's okay.
2-minute warning.
David, stand by. Thank you so much for that account. You were there. You were in the front row. I'm here with Bob Costa, who's been, as we're sitting here, reporting to you. Bob is next to me on the phone, making phone calls quietly to all of his sources to find out what happened. Is the former president okay? We're being told President Biden is going to be addressing the nation in minutes. We're standing by for that. You see the shot that we have up, waiting for his arrival. Bob, what's the latest that you've been hearing?
The latest remains the suspect has been killed, one dead in the shooting at Trump's rally. We're still trying to learn more from those witnesses who were there about what exactly happened on stage in terms of a firearm being discharged. Did it hit something and then ricochet onto Trump? And then you see there's confusion about exactly what happened in terms of the injury for former President Trump. This is a major moment for President Biden, not only the President of the United States, becomes just days before the Republican National Convention, and as President Biden is facing consternation in his party over his recent debate performance in Atlanta. The president is someone who has had his differences, to say the least, with former President Trump over the course of this campaign, but we are in a fragile national moment when there's this kind of violence at a political event for your opponent. This will be a presidential moment, if there ever was one, in the 2024 presidential campaign. We are soon to hear from the President of the United States, who was at his weekend residence, a place he loves returning to for peace and quiet, Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Here's the President.
I've been thoroughly briefed by all the agencies in the federal government as to the situation, based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have engaged in making sure that the people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I am able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. But so far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do, okay?
Mr. President, do you think there was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Are you worried about President's safety?
That was President Biden addressing the nation after former President Trump was presumptively shot at a rally in Pennsylvania. Shots rang out at this rally. We are told the potential shooter is dead. Someone in the crowd is also dead. But what really stood out to me from this address was the president called former President Trump Donald. I'm trying to get a hold of Donald. I hope he's okay. All of the kind of political vernacular has kind of faded away, and now he's talking human to human. He said Donald is with doctors. I'm trying to get a hold of him. He, of course, condemned what happened, condemned political violence. He said, quote, "It's sick."
He also said he's trying to learn more information. We do know that some kind of firearm was discharged, and we're trying to learn about how what exactly happened. We have heard from Donald Trump Jr. as well, just in the last few minutes, sent by an aide. Don Jr. was not there. Donald Trump Jr. not there. But he said, quote, "I just spoke to my father on the phone, and he is in great spirits. He will never stop fighting to save America, no matter what the radical left throws at him." Okay, we don't know about the intention of this shooter or motivation in any way at this time. That's a quote from Donald Trump Jr., the former president's son. President Biden, in his brief remarks from Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, a place where he likes to enjoy some peace and quiet on the weekend, not this weekend, having to speak out about violence at a political rally, he called it sick.
We have Major Garrett also on the line. Major, what do you take away from the president's remarks, and what are you hearing from your sources?
Well, first of all, everyone, I just got to Milwaukee. I got here about 5 minutes ago, right off the airplane, and was shocked to hear the news out of Butler, Pennsylvania. The president's remarks are all the nation knows, and he's at the top of the pyramid of all the available information. I can tell you this from Milwaukee. I just got off the phone with Reince Priebus, former Republican National Committee chairman, former White House chief of staff to Donald Trump, and now currently the chairman of the Republican National Convention here in Milwaukee. He said three things. One, he's been on the phone with those close to former President Trump. The former President Trump is well, does not expect to change anything about the program here in Milwaukee. Will come in here, if anything, more energized, more raring to go. That is a word from Reince Priebus about everything that is planned for the 4 days to commence tomorrow here in Milwaukee. I asked Reince Priebus, do you expect the security situation here in Milwaukee to change as a result of the events in Butler, Pennsylvania? He said, not yet. He said, but I will probably get a briefing in the not too distant future. There are a lot of other priorities ahead of that right now, but he's expecting that something might change. I can tell you this, having just gotten here to downtown Milwaukee, already the standard lengthy multi-block security perimeter is being erected as I speak. Blocks are being blocked off all around. That standard protocol for Republican or Democratic national conventions has been for many, many years. What we don't know is, starting tomorrow, will the plans that they had going into this event in any way be tightened as a result of the violence in Butler, Pennsylvania, and the very near miss on former President Trump. Reince Priebus did not have any insights into that, but what he does know and what he was able to convey to me is former president is well, expects to be here all 4 days in Milwaukee, and wants the program to go as planned. That's what I know.